Welcome back. So, Kanban board. The only difference between Scrum and Kanban is that Kanban do not have any specific sprint. It will just have the release date and all the stories which are yet to develop will be under to-do status. Okay, so let me show you, don't worry about that. So here in Scrum, we have a concept like backlog and we select some stories to work on one particular sprint for a few days, and once we are done that, we'll have another sprint. So Scrum works like this, right? But whereas in Kanban board, so everything will be in to-do status. So right now, when you are working in sprint 1, only these 3 items will be in the to-do status, right? If you go to active sprints, so right now there is no active sprint, but in the last lectures, when there is a sprint started, you see that few items in the to-do state and few items in progress are done. Okay, the items what you brought in the to-do state are nothing but the items which are in your current sprint only. You will not have the items from backlog. Okay, so that's the difference. Backlog items will not be reflected in your to-do status. Only current sprint stories will reflect. But whereas in Kanban board, there is no concept like sprint. So all the backlog items will be on your to-do status and you can just work on your on-demand basis. So you don't have any specific criteria to meet that in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. That everything is on your board and keep on working and finish it. That's it. You have something deadline. By deadline, make sure you wrap up the work. So just Scrum minus sprint concept equals to Kanban board. So in JIRA, you have a provision to create Kanban board. Okay, so for that, click on the projects, say create a new project. It's whole new project. And you can say Kanban software development. Click on next and select this Kanban login, something like that, just to remember. Click on submit. Perfect. You see that one single board. Backlog items, select for development, those are in progress and done. But there's nothing a concept like sprint. Okay. So again, you have one single board where you can define all this stuff and you can create stories here and pull into development, in progress and done. Okay, so for sample, you can create one story here, issue type story, so story number 1, that's it. I don't want to talk much about it. Okay, directly it's in your board, it's in backlog. If you want to select for development, pull that. And then what is difference between selected for development and in progress here? Okay, so this is like to do. It's in backlog and then move it to the to do and then in progress and done. Okay, so you will see everything in one single board. There is no concept like sprint and by bringing some stories into sprint and working. It's all one single board. You will see everything here, pull it and close it. And that's one framework to work, but mostly people use Scrum. I don't think Kanban is highly used outside. It's all 80-20 ratio. 80% people go with Scrum. I'm pretty sure that Scrum is best out of all. Okay, so you don't have any specific sprint planning meetings in Kanban board. You do have one planning meeting to see how many stories we have, how many we are pulling. There is no specific criteria or benchmark in this Kanban. So in JIRA, you have a provision to do all this. Okay. If someone asks you to work on Kanban mode, so do not panic that where is sprint, where is backlog. Grooming can be done, but sprint planning meetings, anything related to sprint will not be present in Kanban. So just don't get panic. That's the only reason I made this lecture. Okay, so I can skip this Kanban board because this is not highly used outside. So there's no point in teaching it. But if someone say that you have to work on Kanban mode, and if you ask questions like what sprint it is, then people will look at you saying that, do you know about this framework? So that's the reason I am making one video to explain that how that Kanban board looks like in JIRA and what is the difference compared to your Scrum. Okay, so Agile is a main word which is used here. Scrum and Kanban are two different frameworks for this Agile approach. Okay, Agile can be done in different approaches. Kanban is one way, Scrum is one way. But Scrum is highly used across the globe and you need not worry about that. But if it is Kanban, you need not remember anything. It's pretty straightforward. All the stories will be in your backlog. When you are ready to pull into your current iteration, just say that select for development, and when people are ready to work, move it to in progress and then done, wrap it up. That's it. No concept of sprint. So that's it about Kanban mode, and you can simply create it by selecting this Kanban software development software instead of Scrum. Okay, make sure you get this difference. Alright guys, so with this I'm going to wrap up this Agile and JIRA section. I hope you guys got enough knowledge with these videos, and I'm pretty sure that this is gonna help you when you start working with real-time projects. Okay, so one more thing, if you are interested in putting these points in your resume, make sure you include all these Scrum activities what you did as part of your project, because people will clearly see your project roles and responsibilities and will identify if you are really worth candidate and a team player in your project. So if you need any assistance in giving you the points on how to work and how to write and describe that when you are working with Scrum projects, let me know. I can send you some points so that you can use that and tell that you have worked in a Scrum project and these are your activities as part of Agile team member. Okay, so you can reach out me this email ID and let me know if you need any help in assisting resume points regarding your experience in Scrum as well as JIRA tool, so that I can give you some inputs which can get highlighted in your resume. All right, thank you guys.